Dear ladies and gentlemen, honorable members of the European Parliament, my talk is about language diversity and local language content on Facebook. It is all of our jobs to worry about the perceived dominance of English on the internet. Today, I will present to you details to the contrary. An amazingly diverse European language landscape on Facebook and some very promising language trends in emerging markets. There are three main topics I will cover. First, the language landscape on Facebook within the European Union. Second, the global perspective with particular considerations in emerging markets. And third, Facebook's support for endangered languages. But first things first. As you already know from the introduction, my name is Orriss. And while I speak on behalf of a global company here today, Facebook, I want to let you know that I am European, at heart and by passport. I grew up in Germany, just 20 kilometers from the Dutch border. Before eventually moving to the US, I also worked and lived in France and Spain. I'm fluent in 4 European languages, although the Irish and British might discount my English as American. On a side note, my boss at Facebook is British, his boss is Spanish, and he reports to Mark Zuckerberg. Europe is well represented at Facebook, and I am honored to be here today speaking to you in the European Parliament. I serve as a Director of Internationalization at Facebook. My team and I are part of the product development, and our charter includes 2 main areas. First, making Facebook available in languages other than English. As of today, the product is available in 107 languages, including all 24 official EU languages. Second, making Facebook a local product with local content and a local feel. Worldwide, as of today, 88% of people accessing Facebook are located outside the US and Canada. My professional life has been dedicated to removing the internet language barrier. In particular, the last 5 years at Facebook and as a member of the board at Translators Without Borders. We all know that access to knowledge is critical to success and well-being. The internet is access to knowledge, but not if it's in a language you don't understand. The European Union is linguistically very diverse, and this is well reflected on Facebook. 79% of people within the EU access Facebook in a language other than English. When excluding the 2 mainly English-speaking countries, Ireland and the UK, it's close to 94%. 94%. Overall, people in the EU are accessing Facebook in 42 languages. Posts by people on Facebook follow a very similar pattern. With roughly 3/4 of content posted on Facebook within the EU in languages other than English. Let's take the example of France and Germany. In France, 94% of people access Facebook in French. Less than 3% access it in English. In Germany, 84% of people access Facebook in German. Roughly 5% access it in English. And other notable languages are Turkish and Arabic. While there is definitely Anglicization of local languages. For example, people prefer the term like over the locally translated version of j'aime or mir gefällt. I can state with confidence that local languages dominate the language landscape on Facebook in the European Union, as they should. This changes in emerging markets across India, Southeast Asia, and Africa. Globally, almost 60% of people access Facebook in a language other than English. In emerging markets, we often see English in the vast majority, although many people are not even fluent in English. The main problem here is not always the availability of apps in a local language. It's actually discoverability. People often use second-hand phones that come in English with an English operating system, and they are not aware that apps might be available in their local language. At Facebook, we have made great progress by adding relevant language selectors in very visible locations and prompting for local languages. It is in the best interest of not just the people, but also the technology companies serving them, to provide access in local languages. It is not just the right thing to do. Actually, it makes business sense. When people understand the language of an app, they sign on, engage, and retain at higher rates. Therefore, I am very optimistic that not just Facebook, but technology companies in general will continue to push for local language solutions in emerging markets. Last but not least, I would like to talk about a program we have at Facebook called Community Translations. This program allows any language community to add their language to Facebook and make it publicly available. Many languages on Facebook are community translated. Some of them are on the UNESCO list of endangered languages. Within the European Union, 9 endangered languages have been made publicly available through a partnership between Facebook and an endangered language community. 6 more are in translation. The 9 already available are Corsican, Faroese, Irish, Welsh, Frisian, Belarus Basque, Breton, and Sardinian. Overall, more than 40,000 people are accessing Facebook in an endangered language, catapulting these languages into the 21st century and making them cool again. Facebook's mission is to give people the power to build community and bring the world closer together. This is one example of how we enable building community around local languages. In closing, I would like to leave you with the following. It is correct that roughly a quarter of the content on the internet today is in English. And it is correct that there is value in further developing language technologies like machine translation to make this content available in many languages. However, machine translated content is never going to be local content, and local is what engages people. Facebook makes everyone a content creator and therefore enables local content at the grassroots level in local languages. This and local language news and information is what will drive language diversity on the internet in the long run. Thank you.